Hey y'all, Mega Me here, and today I wanted to talk about some thoughts on a certain thing that happened fairly recently. And that of course is the 6.9 2026 Nintendo Direct. Now this was a big one, especially for me. I'm a little mad at myself because I couldn't record my reaction to it, because I'll be honest, if I did, I would definitely have uploaded it. However, we do not have reactions, so that's okay. So instead, what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna talk about some of my thoughts on some of these announcements that we have for this Nintendo Direct. And honestly, before these big announcements that we had for the Nintendo Direct and for everything else, genuinely, it feels like E3 has come back in spirit. Like, we had the State of Play, we had the Summer Games Fest, we had Xbox Showcase, and now we have the Nintendo Direct. So in a way, E3 has returned to us, and it's all in June too, so that's pretty crazy to think about, really. Those last presentations, we had a lot. We had, like, obviously that wasn't within the last week, but we did have Dragon Quest 12 announced. That was like last month, like at the end of last month. But that's still pretty big in itself. But anyway, let's start off with State of Play. There was a lot from State of Play, but we did end up getting a lot. We got a new Wolverine gameplay, we got some other cool announcements from there, and we also got the announcements of a new God of War featuring Faye, Atreus' mother and Kratos' wife from the Norse saga. And that's honestly crazy in itself, because honestly, when I saw that, I expected it to be a prequel to the 2018 God of War, but no, it seems to be completely different than what I expected it to. Anyway, let's get on to some other stuff, like Summer Game Fest. Of course, we had Cuphead, we had Resident Evil, we had Xenoblade, we had Final Fantasy VII Revelation, Tifa and Street Fighter, Monster Hunter Wilds DLC, and so much more, really. That was just a big, packed event full of big gaming news everywhere. And then Xbox had a lot. Like, they had a lot of Xbox exclusives, like, they had Halo, they had Fable, they had Gears. But the things I was most excited about most, really, were Persona 4 Revival, Persona 6, and the new Spyro. Which, honestly, I didn't even watch the whole Xbox showcase, but I think that's also very awesome either way. Like, there's a lot that they had with that. But anyway, let's talk Nintendo Direct now. I'm like, there's, like, a lot of stuff here. Rhythm Heaven Groove got like an additional trailer overview thing before the launch, at the start of July. Capcom had a couple ports. We got Onimusha Way of the Sword, Dragon's Dogma 2, we had Devil May Cry, we also had a release date for Orbitals, we had Stellar Blade announced, which is honestly pretty big, and also basically means that the sequel will be a multi-platform and not just on PlayStation. We have a new One Piece, we have a One Piece Life Sim game, we have a new One Piece Cozy game, we got an expansion pass for Pokopia, and we also got a release date for Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave. And it comes out in September, like Wolverine. And literally the same day as the Trails in the Sky second chapter. Oh my god. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy. We had a bunch of other stuff that I'm not gonna mention all the time, but we did also end up getting Liza P Complete Edition. But yeah, that was crazy. Like, getting Liza P on there was pretty good. I hear that game is really good. Anyway, we also got, we basically got Jujutsu Kaisen the Culling game, known as Rumble Survivation by the Vampire Survivors team. That's honestly dope. We got Switch Sports Resorts. We got a little quick overview, a little quick teaser, trailer thing, and free demo out thing for Star Fox. We got a HD 2D Final Fantasy called Final Fantasy Resonance, which is apparently a console game version, like an actual main game version of like the mobile game, which is honestly pretty big. The Duskbloods got another tease. We still don't know shit about it, except that it's getting a close network test this summer or winter here in Australia, because, you know, Platoon Raiders also got a little overview, and also a confirmation that we'll be getting a direct at the end of June. Deltarune Chapter 5 is coming quite literally in like 2 weeks at least. Like, that's crazy. We're getting Deltarune this month. Metaphor Fantasio is also coming to Switch too. I honestly figured that would be the case since we got Persona 3 Reload like less than a year ago, and I didn't think we were gonna get Persona 4 Revival, nor do I think we're gonna get it on launch. But still, awesome to see Metaphor there. Minecraft got a Switch 2 edition. And then we got a whole partner sizzle reel, which reveals some stuff which shows some stuff, such as a new Atelier game, a Tales of remaster, which is I think it was Eternita, and then we got a little look at Final Fantasy XIV Online as well. Now let's talk about the 3 big things that really excited me, the 3 big highlights that I personally really loved from this Direct, and I think because of those 3 things, this Direct specifically was made for me and for RPG players specifically. And I'm not saying Fire Emblem isn't that big of a highlight, the fact it got a release date is massive. However, there were 3 big things that personally made this Direct for me. And they are none other than, the first one is of course Xenoblade. We got the Switch 2 editions of the Xenoblade trilogy, of Xenoblade 1 Definitive Edition, Xenoblade 2, and Xenoblade 3. And apparently, Xenoblade 1 Switch 2 edition just came out today. Like, not today, but it came out at the time of the Direct, right after the Direct. But yeah, this is honestly pretty big, because this means that players who have been waiting for an upgraded version of the Xenoblade games can finally get to these games when these Switch 2 editions come out. Plus, for some reason, they decided to give the Switch 2 editions of these Xenoblade games additional content. So now, with Xenoblade 1, you can ride on a high-speed vehicle. In Xenoblade 2, you can have you can do a little Warriors type of thing where you play as multiple blades. And Xenoblade 3 has a Vampire Survivors thing where you can fight waves of enemies in a top-down view, as well as a bunch of other content that they have featured and also not mentioned. A friend of mine just started Xenoblade 1 Definitive Edition Switch 2 edition. For some reason, there was something they didn't specifically mention in the trailer, that Xenoblade Kart is a thing. I'm sorry, what the fuck? Overall, I think this announcement especially is massive in and of itself, because Xenoblade Chronicles is easily one of my favorite JRPGs on Nintendo Switch. So to be able to play them and to get others into them with this Switch 2 edition is honestly pretty massive if they care about the quality of the game they're playing through. If they don't want to play on Switch 1 in handheld mode because quality looks bad. Good news, Xenoblade 2 won't look that bad anymore, because Xenoblade 2 Switch 2 edition is a thing now. Although I have played Xenoblade 2 on the Switch 1 handheld, I didn't think it was that big of a deal. I didn't think it was that bad. I thought it was honestly good. I thought it was good, yeah. I enjoyed myself with the handheld version. I played games handheld often, so Xenoblade 2 was still really good even in handheld to me. But then they pulled something I didn't think would happen anytime soon. I'll be honest, heading into this, I did not expect to get a brand new Xenoblade anytime soon, or at least anytime within the next year at least. Wow. I heard rumors that they were doing a Xenoblade 2 Definitive Edition treatment, they were giving that game a Definitive Edition treatment. I'm glad they're doing Switch 2 editions for all 3 of them. However, because of that, I tempered my expectations, and I wasn't expecting any new Xenoblade. So when they announced an entirely new Xenoblade game called Xenoblade Genesis exclusively for the Nintendo Switch 2 for 2027, I lost my mind. Genuinely, the Xenoblade Switch 2 editions were just the calm before the storm. And it looks gorgeous. It looks visually stunning. I always thought that if whenever Monolith Soft made a Switch 2 exclusive game, that they would cook with the visuals. And right now, they are cooking with the visuals. It looks like there's a new female protagonist, and it looks like there's like a school setting, like very Fire Emblem 3 house-like. We didn't get a look at combat, but we did get a look at as traversal, and now there's mounts you can ride on, which is awesome. They're really taking cues from like Xenoblade X in terms of like having like stuff you could use to traverse the world, which is very awesome. I have no doubt they'll cook with the story, because honestly Xenoblade has always like done that. It's always like, there have been some times, like Xenoblade X for example, where they haven't done the best with the story, but I think that's for a different reason, because Xenoblade X, that game is not focused on the story. That game is focused on the exploration and the world, which I think is honestly fine. But damn does Xenoblade Genesis look incredible. I cannot wait for this game. Now, I mentioned this a bunch of times, but Xenoblade is one of my favorite JRPGs out there. One of my other favorites is Kingdom Hearts. So I have been waiting for years, like since before Sora got into Smash, for them to actually natively port Kingdom Hearts to Switch. And when we got Sora for Smash, I was thrilled. However, there was one problem, and that was what came after when Sakurai confirmed Kingdom Hearts was coming to Nintendo Switch. And that's the cloud versions. I was so disappointed with that they opted to go with cloud versions. Even if it was just 1.5 plus 2.5 native ports, I would have been fine with that. But no, they had to put cloud versions of all of them. Like, bruh. What were you doing back then, Square? What were you thinking? So anyway, I was actually hoping to get the Kingdom Hearts native ports in this direct. And then when the Partner Spotlight Sizzle Wheel happened, and I didn't see Kingdom Hearts, I lost all hope. But then they did it. At the very last second, they pulled through and actually gave us native ports of Kingdom Hearts for the Nintendo Switch 2. I gotta be honest here, Xenoblade and Kingdom Hearts on Switch 2 was already a big ask. Like, I wasn't even expecting Xenoblade, like, unless there was like Switch 2 editions. But expecting a new Xenoblade and Kingdom Hearts Switch 2 ports are like, bro, like they gave me what I wanted. They really did. They did also drop like a demo, and they announced a new collection for Kingdom Hearts, which I think is really cool. Apparently this collection is also coming to every modern system available, including PS5, so honestly that's crazy. That's very crazy of them to attempt, really. But yeah, like, a lot of people already own the game on PS4, but I guess, okay, PS5 it is then. You can play the games again on PS5. Every Kingdom Hearts fan that is as crazy as Kingdom Hearts fans be will end up buying Kingdom Hearts for everything they own. Anyway, so I figured after that we would just go right into like the next segment, or one of the last announcements. However, when it went into a black screen, I instantly thought, there's no way we'd get Kingdom Hearts 4. There's just no way, and then they did. They gave us Kingdom Hearts 4. Kingdom Hearts 4 is coming to Switch 2 at launch. Like, obviously I'm gonna play Kingdom Hearts 4 on PlayStation when that comes out. However, the idea of Kingdom Hearts 4, of all games, appearing in a Nintendo Direct is insane. No one expected this. No one expected this. I not only got a brand new Xenoblade with Switch 2 editions, I also got Kingdom Hearts native Switch 2 ports with Kingdom Hearts 4! Like, there was a lot they didn't tell us. We got some gameplay, we got a look at what appears to be some characters who are from another era of Kingdom Hearts, as well as Luxford. We also got that big dark side, we got Strelitzia again, we got a look at young Xehanort, who I assume is an ally this time around. like... Oh my god, this really does feel like E3, doesn't it? But then... Like, whoa. I'll be honest, if Kingdom Hearts 4 comes out in 2027, that might be one of the best years in gaming. We have a lot in 2027. Final Fantasy VII Revelation, we have Xenoblade, Genesis, Kingdom Hearts 4. 2027 is gonna go crazy. I'm calling it. It's gonna go crazy as hell. However, right after Kingdom Hearts 4, they went into the very last announcement of the Direct. And that was none other than The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time for Nintendo Switch 2. Like, it's just a teaser. But if it really looks like that in engine, like, it looks so realistic. If it really looks like that in engine, in like cutscenes and in gameplay, well, we might have the definitive edition of Ocarina of Time. Like, we have voice acting, we have realistic looking graphics. Like, I'm not the biggest, like, I don't love Ocarina as much as I love, like, Skyward Sword, Breath of the Wild, and Tears of the Kingdom, but I feel like this remake will make me appreciate Ocarina of Time more, especially when they'll be making it for the Nintendo Switch 2 for the modern generation of Zelda fans. Like, those who play Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom are probably gonna be stuck on puzzles anyway, but Ocarina of Time getting a remake is a very big deal, and we don't even have a date. But anyway, there's only 2 possible spots that Ocarina could drop in 2026, and that is either December or November. Now, it would be the funniest thing if Ocarina of Time released on the exact same day, if not the exact same week, as GTA 6. Assuming GTA 6 doesn't come to Switch 2, GTA 6 and Ocarina of Time are for 2 vastly different audiences, and Nintendo fans will have nothing for November if they don't release anything by then. Like Nintendo, I don't think you guys are afraid of GTA 6. Like, if you're not putting it on Switch 2, there's nothing to be afraid of. It's mostly PS5 and Xbox that have to be afraid of, really. And we don't even know when that God of War game is coming out. But yeah, that Direct, I feel like that Direct was made for me. I feel like that Direct was made for me. Like, genuinely, it is, without a doubt. Like, if you're a JRPG fan, and you love Xenoblade, you love Fire Emblem, then this Direct, and another thing, if you're someone who loves Zelda, Xenoblade, Fire Emblem, there's a good chance you were sold on this Direct. There's a good chance that if you haven't bought a Nintendo Switch 2 yet, then this Direct may have sold you on that. Although it'd be good to do it before the prices go up in like September, because that is not gonna do well when the prices go up. That is not gonna be okay. So I know some friends online who don't have a Switch 2, who are very interested in Fire Emblem, who are very interested in Xenoblade, who might be interested in Zelda. I implore you, if you're able to, buy a Switch 2 before the price increases so you don't miss out. Because when the prices increase, it will be especially harder for people to buy a Nintendo Switch 2. And honestly, it's a shame these prices increase, really. But yeah, Nintendo Direct, awesome. Incredible Direct. That Direct was made for me. That Direct was made for me. Like, of course, there was no 3D Mario. I wasn't expecting that. There was also no Kid Icarus. Also wasn't expecting that. And there were a lot of surprises. Like, it felt like if you're a JRPG fan, this was very much for you. This is very much for JRPG fans. Like, goddamn, like all these Summer Game Fest, the State of Play, the Xbox Showcase, the Nintendo Direct, all these big announcements. We got Dragon Quest 12. Obviously not from any of those. We got Persona 6, we got Final Fantasy 7 Revelation, we got Kingdom Hearts 4. It's almost like this past week was meant to be E3 all over again. And I am okay with that. Also, I completely forgot to mention this, but I love the idea that Xenoblade does not have Chronicles in the title anymore, because from my understanding, Xenoblade Chronicles was the saga that started with Xenoblade 1 and ended with Xenoblade 3. And even though Xenoblade X still had Xenoblade Chronicles, X, I'd say, isn't really part of that saga, and is more so its own thing, minus some minor details. But it really goes to show that Xenoblade Genesis is really the second saga of the Xenoblade series, and I am thrilled and excited to see what they're gonna do with Xenoblade Genesis when that launches in 2027.